Recording is on.
Welcome back to the Big Tree podcast. Today we're going to talk about the IPL and different other things which have happened since then and about it, and yeah, just an overview of whatever has happened since our last episode. So first of all, let's talk about the points table as it stands right now. Um, GT is at number one. Then you've got RCB, and it seems as if the bottom three teams are eliminated. Then you've got LSG, which kind of at number seven, which kind of look like a team just jaded and done for, honestly, because if not for that, even if that game happened versus RCB, I don't think they'd have been able to win that game. Um, for for RCB, I think if Josh Hazelwood is available, then it changes the dynamic of how they're able to approach the IPL a whole lot. But if he isn't available, then I am not as sure of their chances as I was earlier. And like for me, the most solid team thus far, it was looking like it was RCB, but at this moment it looks like GT, honestly, because um, till now their middle order hasn't failed, and as far as we can theorize, it it might just go on that way for the entire competition. Who knows? And the Mumbai Indians, I don't think that they've fallen behind. They're going to come back again, and yeah, I'm not really sure on DC and not really sure on KKR either. For me, like this pause in the IPL um, kind of feels like feels like something which should not necessarily have happened, honestly, because the planning and the execution behind a global tournament like the IPL should not be so flawed that you have a game happening in a place where is there's the possibility of an active warfare intrusion or whatever you want to call it. I don't think that being in the being in a 85-kilometer radius of an active war zone is ideal or even normal for a sporting event. So just I don't think that there was competence shown by the BCCI or other parties involved here. Again, I do think that if and when it resumes, which it seems like it'll do on the 14th, it'll it'll be a different scenario. It'll not exactly be the same way it was earlier. A lot of foreign players, I don't think all foreign players will be able to come back, especially because of the fact that I just think that a lot of them will be spooked by whatever's happened over uh, this much time, wherever I think they'd have thought that the IPL was actually a safe tournament to be in, but this might have changed their perception of it. And honestly, I think for me, the most affected franchise here would be RCB, and yeah, I think RCB is the most affected franchise here, undoubtedly, because Hazelwood is probably the most important player in their side, and if he is not available, then it creates massive issues for them. Again, like when it restarts, it also depends on which venues it's played on, because if it's played on exclusively in Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad, as we're hearing, then it might be helpful for RCB, and if it's not, then it's going to be like relatively similar to what happened before. Okay, and now on Rohit's retirement, I actually think that it is a very good decision from him. I didn't expect it. I thought that he'd carry on and try to somehow maintain a semblance of a test career, but he's done the right thing. He's done the thing for the team, and I respect him for it. I think that you know he at one stage of his career, from a certain point to another, was actually a very good test batter. From, let's say, from 2019 to 2023, he played 161 versus Chennai, versus Mumbai, versus England in Chennai. What am I saying? And that innings at Lords, at the Oval, that innings in against Australia in Nagpur, was it, or Delhi? I don't know. I don't remember. But he's kind of a player of. He's not a great player, but he's a player of innings which even great players couldn't play. So it's a mixed test career. It's a test career of two halves, generally poor, but exceptionally elite for a short while. And his captaincy, I think that was the main issue here, because he's been absolutely uh, aberrationally. I'm not going to hold back with my words. I don't. I think he's been extremely passive with how he's been captaining. But regardless, he's served India very well, and without him, I don't think India would have been able to win the 2021 England series, both home and away. So yeah, just kudos to him, and he's done the right decision. Hopefully, he can continue on, uh, given his form permits for long in ODI cricket. And with Virat's rumored retirement decision, I honestly was extremely shocked when I woke up to that news, because to me, that is like a cold shower out of coming out of a sauna, like immediate cold shower after a sauna. It made absolutely no sense why that happened, especially given the fact that Virat had been playing in the Ranji Trophy, playing or preparing with Sanjay Bangar. It made little sense, and it kind of also justified the fact that he was sad after the last game versus CSK. But I don't know. I just feel like he needs to kind of go back to the he needs to go back to the drawing board and realize that which format actually drives him, and it inevitably will be test cricket. I know that we should respect his decision, but I don't know. I just feel like he might be making a rush decision at this point. And just given however his dynamics play out, the BCCI are able to convince him or not, he still would be an integral part of the Indian Test team, and I don't think that his decline has been as terminal as some people make him out to be. I don't know. I do think that if he's made up his mind, it's kind of very hard to get him to change it. But let's hope he does, because I actually thought he'd play till 25-27 cycle, and potentially even a SAR series post that. SA series or whatever, an England and South Africa series, and a New Zealand series after that. Anyways, I for the Indian Test captaincy, I also think that should go to Virat for now, and have Shubman Gill or Rishabh Pant as his interim captain, so that as the vice captain, so he can groom them throughout the cycle. I'd have it structured that way. Um, that is about it for this week's episode of the Big Three podcast. Not much has happened in the cricket world. We'll see you again soon. We'll have a very important guest on our podcast to talk about the dynamics of a completely different cricketing and otherwise event. Till then, see you again. Goodbye.